Imagine a creature with a brain the size of a walnut that can hold a full conversation with you, crack jokes, imitate your grandmother's laugh, and even understand what it's saying. Sounds impossible, right? But it's real, and it's not magic, it's science. Today, we're cracking open the mystery of how parrots actually talk like humans and why some of them might honestly be smarter than you think. Stick around, because the ending of this video will change the way you look at these birds forever. If you've ever seen a parrot on social media saying, "I love you," or ordering it to shut the door, you've probably asked yourself, is it actually talking or just repeating sounds like a broken recorder? That question has puzzled scientists for over a century, and the answer is way weirder and way cooler than you'd expect. In the next 10 minutes, we'll cover how a parrot's body physically produces human speech, whether parrots understand the words they say, the most famous talking parrot in scientific history, and the surprising reason parrots evolved this ability in the first place. Let's get into it. First, the obvious question. How does a bird with no lips, no vocal cords, and a beak instead of teeth manage to sound like a human being? Humans speak using vocal cords in the larynx, shaped by our lips, tongue, and teeth. Parrots don't have any of that. Instead, they have an organ called the syrinx, located deep in their chest where the windpipe splits into the lungs. Unlike our larynx, the syrinx has two independent sound sources, which is actually why some birds can sing two notes at once. But here's the real trick. Parrots have incredibly muscular, flexible tongues, and they can control the shape of their throat and beak opening with astonishing precision. They essentially sculpt the airflow from the syrinx to mimic the exact frequencies of human speech, vowels, consonants, even accents. It's less like they have a voice box built for talking and more like they've hacked their entire vocal anatomy to fake one. In fact, studies using X-ray video of parrots mid-speech show their tongue moving in ways eerily similar to how a human tongue moves to form words. That's not an accident. It's the result of thousands of hours of vocal experimentation starting the moment they're born. Okay, so they physically can make the sounds. But here's the part that really divides scientists. Do parrots know what they're saying? For a long time, the answer was assumed to be a flat no, that parrots were just biological tape recorders. But then came a bird named Alex. Alex was an African gray parrot studied for over 30 years by animal psychologist Dr. Irene Pepperberg. And Alex didn't just repeat words, he used them. He could identify colors, shapes, and materials. He could count objects up to 6. He understood concepts like same and different. He would even get frustrated and say no when researchers asked him to repeat a boring task too many times. The most famous moment? Alex once looked in a mirror, and when a researcher asked what he saw, he replied, "What color?" He was asking a question, something scientists previously thought only humans could conceptually do without training. When Alex passed away in 2007, his last words to his trainer were, "You be good. I love you. See you tomorrow." That single moment sparked a massive shift in how we think about animal intelligence. Now, to be fair to the skeptics, most parrots you see online are not doing what Alex did. Most pet parrots are engaging in something scientists call contextual mimicry. That means they learn to associate a sound with a situation, not necessarily its actual meaning. For example, a parrot might say "good morning" every time the light turns on, not because it understands what morning means, but because it's learned that phrase gets a reaction, attention, or a treat. It's the same principle behind training a dog to sit. Repetition plus reward equals response. But here's the twist. Parrots don't need a treat to want interaction. In the wild, parrots are some of the most social birds on Earth. They live in flocks, form lifelong partnerships, and communicate constantly through calls, tone shifts, and even regional accents between different populations of the same species. Talking to humans, for many parrots, isn't a trick. It's them treating you like a member of their flock.
So why do parrots have this ability in the first place? It's not like they evolved in a jungle full of humans to practice on. The leading theory is vocal mimicry evolved as a social bonding tool. In the wild, parrots use mimicry to strengthen relationships within the flock, copying the calls of a mate or blending into a group's unique dialect so they're recognized as belonging. This ability is incredibly rare in the animal kingdom. Only a small number of species can do true vocal learning, meaning they can hear a new sound and consciously reproduce it. That list includes parrots, songbirds, hummingbirds, dolphins, elephants, and humans. Dogs and cats, no matter how much they understand us, physically cannot do this. Parrots can. That places them in one of the most exclusive vocal clubs on the planet.
Let's have some fun with this. Some parrots have picked up incredibly specific skills. Some African greys have learned to imitate the exact sound of a microwave beeping, a phone ringtone, or even a family member's cough, and use it to prank other pets in the house. Budgiegarays, yes, the tiny ones, have been recorded with vocabularies of over 1,700 words, which is more than some toddlers. Some parrots learn entire sentences with correct grammar structure just from hearing them repeatedly, using them in situations that fit, like saying, "I'm hungry," specifically at mealtimes, unprompted. It's this blend of mimicry, memory, and social intelligence that makes parrots feel less like pets and more like tiny feathered roommates with opinions.
So, can parrots really talk like humans? The honest answer is it's a spectrum. Every parrot sits somewhere between simple mimicry and genuine context-aware communication, and where exactly the line is between copying and understanding is still being debated by scientists today. But one thing is certain, parrots are proof that intelligence in the animal kingdom doesn't always look the way we expect. It doesn't need fur, hands, or a big brain relative to body size. Sometimes it just needs feathers, a flexible tongue, and millions of years of evolution built around one simple goal: staying connected to the flock.
If this blew your mind even a little, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this video reach more curious minds like you. And let me know in the comments, if your parrot or your friend's parrot could say one sentence to you right now, what do you think it would say? Subscribe for more deep dives into the strangest, smartest corners of the animal kingdom. See you in the next one.